go, yo. One time for your mind. You know we ball all day. Yeah. Just know we talk ball all day. Welcome to the full court press. Full court press. We got Danny Thompson on the mic, so just chill with the set. Ball all day. Yeah. Just know we talk ball all day. Welcome to the full court press. Full court press. We got Danny Thompson on the mic, so just chill with the set.
It is the night we're all waiting for. It is opening night of the NBA season. This is Full Court Press Radio, sponsored by SOFOELLC for October 27, 2015. I'm your host, Dane Thompson, checking in tonight from Orlando, Florida, and it's the night everybody's been waiting for. You know, ring ceremony out in Oakland, LeBron playing Chicago right now, and Atlanta and Detroit's also playing as well, too. So we are, pretty much excited and set for the NBA season coming up. To call into the show tonight, 407-916-8255 if you're in Orlando, or toll-free 800-729-8255. So we're on the line for the next 2 hours talking anything and everything NBA with our good friend Zach Oliver in hour number 2, from the editor of Orlando Pinstripe Post, since he got his brand new promotion last week, and our good friend Jason Jones of the Sacramento Bee, talking everything Boogie and the Boys around 10:30. And most importantly, we want you guys to call in. But I can't do this show without, my big three. So my dynamic duo partner to the right, he is one of the writers for NBAFCPRadio.com, as well as the editor-in-chief, my main man, Paul Myers. Paul, what's going on, sir?
Yo, happy to be here tonight, man. Gotta love opening night. I mean, we couldn't ask for a better game. Well, maybe could have asked for better games, but not bad ones for sure. So I'm excited, man. Let's get it going.
And also my other main man, the man in the middle, the Kevin Garnett of the team with the ice grill, as well as the big beard up in Philadelphia, Pennsylvania, our social media manager of FullCourtPressRadio.com and NBA draft expert, Mark Johnson. Mark, how you doing, my friend?
Oh, great, man. I'm just catching up on this Cavs-Bulls game. Thought I would see a little better, from the Bulls, but, I'm like, they still got the second half to go, so we'll see if they can make a run.
Before we go any further, we want to say our condolences out to Flip Saunders. He passed away on Sunday of cancer, I think at the age of 60. Flip, he was one of the reasons why the Minnesota Timberwolves in the early part of the 2000s got to where they were. He coached Kevin Garnett from a young pup to where he was now, and Garnett finishing his career now in Minnesota, and it was all of a sudden. I mean, at one point he just took a leave of absence, and then they're saying he might not be back, and then next thing you know, he's no longer with us. So our condolences out to Flip. And Paul and Mark, I don't know, did you guys see the picture of Kevin Garnett on social media right after the passing?
I did not, man, but I can imagine. Anytime someone has a huge influence on your life, and they leave the earth, and especially in a quick manner. So about 2 weeks ago, I remember reading that Saunders was his health was improving. Things were going well. And when I listened to Mike and Mike this morning, Adam Silver was on and talked about how it was just kind of all of a sudden it took a turn for the worse, and now he's no longer with us. So anytime someone leaves unexpectedly like that, you don't get to properly say goodbye. So I think that's probably why it had such a heavy impact on KG and everybody. It's as Silver said, he had a huge impact with the coaches and around the league. Everyone loved him. So definitely a big loss for the NBA.
Mark, you have any thoughts on it?
Yeah, just PIP, to Flip Saunders. Good man. A lot of people respected him. A lot of people liked him. Good basketball mind, too. So he definitely will be missed. And I know the Wolves, they're going to play their hearts out for him. Everybody, just had a good thing to say. And I think that team, is really going to play, a bit inspired, for their coach and their leader. And, I think everything's going to be okay there, so I think everything's going to be all right. Flip, he's a good man. He'll be missed. And we have you in our hearts and have you in our prayers.
So, guys, you know what? Let's just kind of change the subject a little bit. Let's go a little bit more upbeat. Like I said, it's opening night. And so the big story so far, let's talk about the game that's not on national television right now, the Hawks and the Detroit Pistons. It's 48-43 at the break right now. And a guy that no one, I don't know if, unless you're playing daily fantasy hoops, I don't think anybody had this guy pegged to be the best player in the game so far. It's Marcus Morris, 10 points and 6 rebounds in 18 minutes so far for Detroit as they got the lead right now. Mark, you were mentioning before about Marcus Morris. Do you think he's a good fit in this situation in Detroit? You think it was a good move for them to acquire him?
Oh, I think it's an excellent fit, and especially that they really got him for nothing. Usually that's always a great trade. He fits well with Stan Van Gundy. Stan Van Gundy, he's old school. He likes to, really get inside in the paint, rugged, aggressive. That's how he likes his teams. And if you notice, the better Stan Van Gundy teams over the years, that's exactly how they were built. They didn't do a lot of finesse stuff. And Marcus Morris fits perfectly, with that type of style.
Now, Paul, in Atlanta's case right now, they started Kent Bazemore at the small forward position tonight over Thavos Cephalosha. Do you agree with that move? Do you agree with Bazemore being the starting small forward going forward, or do you think they should go with Cephalosha, or you think they should go in a different direction?
Well, for me, I don't have a huge problem with it. Bazemore and Cephalosha are fairly comparable, I guess. Bazemore, a little younger, a little more spry. Probably a better jump shot than Cephalosha, although that's not saying a whole lot. Cephalosha's still the better defensive player, so I don't necessarily have a problem with them starting Bazemore. I would personally start Cephalosha. I think he gives them a little more range on defense, a little better rebounder, a couple other things. But for me, I would go Cephalosha, but I don't have a problem with them going with Bazemore.
Well, Paul made a good point on this one with the versatility of Bazemore being a little bit more offensive than Cephalosha. It helps Atlanta out on that aspect, but for me, I think Atlanta needs more of a lockdown defender. But the good thing with Detroit is tonight is that I don't think they have much of a scoring threat to be more concerned about, with having Cephalosha play in major minutes. It was change numbers and change transition. The other game going on right now is at halftime in Chicago. The game of the night in the early section of the games, the Bulls are ahead of the Cavs, 46-40. The Bulls pretty much have held Cleveland to 32% shooting in the first part of the game. Paul, I know this is the first part of it's early and and everything else, but if you're Cleveland and you started the game very hot with LeBron James and you now have fallen back, are you concerned going into halftime, or you just think it's just early jitters?
Yeah, I don't think it's a big deal. I mean, we're talking about a team that just is just removed from the NBA Finals. I don't think it's a big deal, man. Again, it is opening night. We're excited as fans. But you got to think from the players' point of view. This is game 1 of 82. I don't think they're really that pressed about it. Obviously, you want to win every game, but no, I wouldn't be worried about a little lead or a little deficit at halftime.
Now, Mark, here's a stat that's kind of shocking. Pau Gasol in 16 minutes has no points and only 1 rebound and 2 shots. You've mentioned Fred Hoiberg in this high-paced offense. You watched it a lot when he was coaching at Iowa State. If you're the Bulls, are you concerned that they're not – if you're a Bulls fan, are you concerned that they're not going interior into the paint or doing much with Gasol in there?
Shoot, I would be concerned a little bit. I think basketball, is played its best when it's played inside out. And I know Hoiberg, he has – his system, a lot of shooters and everything. But, usually it's kind of predicated on the big men. When they get inside, I remember, when Royce White was there at Iowa State. And, it's kind of like you would like to see more interaction, especially with Gasol. He's such a good passer, such a good scorer in there. Let him, facilitate what's going on. So a bit surprised, but I think, Hoiberg, he'll be able to make the adjustments in the second half. And then we have to see what kind of adjustments that Cleveland will make to, keep Gasol down and, try to hold him in check, and get back into this game.
Right, and for me, the key thing here is a guy that wasn't even played last year. You look at Doug McDermott's got 7 points and a couple rebounds. Now, I do have to point out, one of our writers, Jay Waddell, is he's our resident fantasy guy. Yes. He called Doug McDermott tonight, and he's off to a pretty good start, surprisingly, or not surprisingly to him, So, I think going forward, this is the kind of stuff that we're going to see. We're going to see, the shooters for the Bulls are going to thrive, and I don't think you're going to see a lot of production out of the big men. with the exception of maybe a guy like Portis who can come in and shoot. You know, I think he might have some good numbers going forward, but I don't think you're going to see much out of Gasol or Noah for for a majority of the year. I don't think you'll see big numbers out of them.
Well, it's funny as you make the comment, Doug McDermott. Zach Oliver's hanging out with us in the studio. He just made this crazy expression look when you say the words Doug McDermott and actually fantasy impact all at the same time. But, you know, the funny thing is you look at the numbers, like Joakim Noah, 10 points, 10 minutes in the game tonight in the first half, no shots.
Exactly.
No points, but he does have 6 rebounds. He does have 2 assists. And
well, Noah's going to get you that anyway. But see, you know, again, you look, McDermott has what, 7 and 3?
He's got 7 points in 7 minutes
and three boards.
Yeah, 3 boards. You know, and the thing with Gasol is that Gasol has 0 across the board. You mentioned Bobby Portis hasn't even hit the floor tonight.
Right. I think that'll change eventually because I think he does fit this offense a little better. So we'll see. I don't think Taj Gibson's going to last the year there. I don't think he's a good fit. So I think Hoiberg's offense, you're seeing what you're going to see out of it. The shooters are going to be on the floor more often, including Mirotic, who's playing well so far with 11 points. So now he does have 4 turnovers, but I guess that is part of Hoiberg's offense as well. Yeah. You know, it's going to be fast and there's going to be turnovers.
Well, you know, another good thing about this one, Mark, I'm going to change gears over to Cleveland. You know, right now, Kevin Love is 2 for 9 right now. He's coming off injury. He doesn't look very effective right now. If you're David Blatt, are you still telling Kevin Love to shoot from the outside, or you tell him to start working into the paint? He's 2 for 9, 1 of 4 from the 3-point line. He doesn't seem like he's very effective right now. How would you try to get Kevin Love back into this game right now?
You have to set some things, a little closer to the basket. He's already taken 4 threes, 1 of 4 on threes. Let's get a little closer to the basket. Let's get some cleanup, some garbage buckets going. Let's get to the free throw line. Sometimes you have to see the ball go in, so then that way, it can feed your adrenaline. It can kind of feed, your confidence, and you can kind of step it up. So I think he needs to get some things, going closer to the basket. I would like to see Mo Williams, LeBron, kind of get Kevin involved and let it go from there. LeBron, he's, 6 of 13 right now. I'm just like, LeBron, you're a great player. Let's get everybody else involved, and then, you go ahead and do your Superman thing, later on, in the second half, in the fourth quarter. So get these other guys involved a little bit more, a little bit better, and I think Cleveland will be just fine.
Well, it's been the case with Cleveland for the last few years. I mean, without Kyrie tonight, Kevin Love is still coming back. Is who else can score on this team? And it's been a major issue with Cleveland. And we'll sit down and talk about who we're picking later on in the show. But that's been the $64 question in Cleveland. Even the finals last year is who is going to pick up the scoring when LeBron can't do it. I mean, J.R. Smith is 0-4. And Mo Williams has 10 points, though. Mo Williams has done his job. Dellavedova has 2 points.
Let's not overreact here, though. I mean, come on. It's the first half of the first game. This is what everyone tends to do is the first game, the first week. Everyone wants to overreact. Do I need to remind you of what the Miami Heat's record was LeBron's first season in their first 13 games?
I mean, at the same time, though,
you got no, but what did they end up doing? Where did they end up?
Well, we just ended up watching.
Where did they end up?
Well, I mean, they got to the finals.
That's what I'm saying. It's
first game.
Let's not overreact. I don't even think the first 10 games are a big deal.
Well, it depends.
I definitely agree. My thing is that I'm just like, listen, they're in this game. They definitely have a chance to win it. Just go ahead, get some certain guys involved. LeBron has to do a little bit more, with Kyrie not being there. But this is a winnable game, so go ahead and go ahead and try and take it. It's definitely a winnable game for them.
Well, like I said, you got comments and concern. Your comments on these 2 games going on right now: 407-916-8255 or toll free 800-729-8255 if you are listening nationally. And the Bulls, like I said, it's 51-46. Kevin Love finally scored a basket here.
Mm-hmm. But that's back-to-back baskets, LeBron and then Kevin Love. So right on cue, we given them both a little bit of jab, and here they come. So. This is, again, I don't want people to start overreacting. It's the first game. You're going to have some problems. Kevin Love hasn't played a regular season or playoff game. He hasn't played in a while, so you're going to expect some rustiness. He wasn't terribly sharp in the preseason, had some spots here and there.